Welcome to the 8th edition of the Dog Pound Weekly. Again, I'm Randy Moore, the head football coach here, and I'll have this young man sitting beside me introduce himself.
My name is Brian Greenwell. I'm from Cape Coral, Florida. I'm a sophomore, play quarterback, majoring in business and minoring in entrepreneurship.
Great. Brian's a great young man that I met down at a fair in Florida and was at a very successful high school at Cape Coral High School, and it really is just a quality young man and a very good young quarterback. This week I want to talk to you a little bit first about last week's game against the University of Chicago. Chicago came in with a 3-3 record, and we had rumors of rain and this and that, and actually turned out to be a very nice afternoon. Unfortunately, we couldn't move the ball on offense, and our punt team really let us down. Defense played well in spurts. We got put in some bad situations, held them to field goals, held them to no points, really did some good things on defense, but gave up too many big plays still to be able to win the football game. Offensively, again, we got bottled up. We showed some signs in the third quarter of being able to move the football, but then again, it's just one player here, one player there, a mistake here, a mistake there, and we just couldn't sustain anything. Again, we scored on defense again with a long fumble recovery. Dominic Harper did a nice job with that. He also had a fumble recovery on the punt return team, on the punt team, their punt return team. So this week, what we have to do is we've been working extremely hard in shoring up our punt team. We have gotten to more spread formations offensively to be able to throw the football, run the football, and we need to again move the football, and we're striving to get one first down for each possession. Obviously, we want to get more for each possession, but we have to be able to do that. Defensively, we need to step up and continue to fly to the football and make things happen. On a more positive note, this last Sunday, we played Teal College in a junior varsity game, and we were down 21-0 at the end of the first quarter, and we ended up coming back and winning the ball game 30-27. And I actually recovered an extra point that they were going to try to tie the ball game up, and ran it all the way back 100 yards for a 2-point play. And Brian was a big part of that victory. He quarterbacked us almost the entire way, really threw some nice passes, really showed some great leadership. And when we were down 21-0, Brian came in and said, hey, let's get this thing moving and let's get it rolling. And that's something that we need to develop both on the varsity level and the junior varsity level. Brian, why don't you talk about the game a little bit?
Well, starting off, our offense started off kind of rough, and when you start off like that, it's hard to help out the defense like that, and gave up a few points that way. We gave up a turnover on offense, and they scored off that. So, like you said, started off losing 21-0, but that was like late in the second quarter. We made a few adjustments offensively, and we just said this is enough. Might as well do what we can, and started making smart plays, and our defense started holding them, and momentum went our way and turned it around at the end. Ended up pretty good.
It was a great win. It was great to see the young men come back. There were some families from Florida and all over Ohio and things like that at the ball game. They all came back, took pictures of the young men ringing the bell. And again, the vision of the program right now is to develop better young men. I was just in a MapWorks meeting the other day, and the dean of students stepped up and said, I really want to commend the football team and the football coaches about the way they're conducting themselves as young men and being leaders on campus and doing a great job this semester. We haven't had that here in a long time, he said, and they're really starting to grow up and become better young men. Number two, academically. I had 43 meetings in the last 2 days about midterm grades and trying to advise people on what to do with this grade and that grade and seeing where they're going and what course they're going to take. But again, the young men are doing a good job, but we've got to get better academically. And I think that through this mentoring and guidance that we've given them as a staff, as a college, they're definitely going to be able to pick up their grades and get things taken care of from that standpoint. And then we want to win. And even if it was a JV game on Sunday, it was a big step in showing that if you play together hard, and you play not as an individual, but as a team, which I'm seeing aspects of it that we're doing during the course of the week in games on defense, sometimes on special teams, sometimes on offense, but we really have to focus in on those special teams and especially the offense playing together as a unit and not a bunch of individuals. And we've made some changes this week to be able to try to foster that and make it happen. But that was a big win for our program, for our coaches, and for our young men. And we were really excited about that. This week on the varsity level, we play Oberlin College, just about an hour away down the road. Football team that's 2-5, but is very talented. They've got a quarterback that is his senior year. I think it's his 5th year, and he was injured last year, came back, and he's been injured for part of this year, but when he's on, like he was against Case Western last week, they lost 17-14 in overtime. He's a very talented young man. And he kind of reminds me a little bit of like Brian. He's just a gunslinger that finds a way to get the ball to the open man, and he's not afraid to tuck it and run. On defense, they're a 3-4 football team. Probably the biggest difference between Oberlin's football team is they have about 16 seniors right now out of their 40 players that are seniors, and they're all contributing, and they're all making a big difference. Where we're a young football team, I firmly believe we're a more talented football team, but they have experience going for them in that role. And I really think that this week we show up and play, we improve, we play as a team and not individuals, and get our punt team shored up, move the ball on offense. We're going to win the football game against Oberlin College. This week again, I'll need help with selling 50-50 raffle tickets, selling programs. I have a bunch of Nike gear left over that if somebody wants to set up a stand and sell, be more than glad to able to do that. We're still targeting Ireland. I'm going to talk to the players about that today. I think that the price right now to take a look at going to Ireland would be somewhere around $2,300 to $2,500 per player. It'd be an 8-night stay. The biggest chunk of that right now is the airlines. The on-land stuff is $1,200 per player. It's getting them to Ireland that's the biggest expense right now. And that's $1,200 with the hotel, 3 meals a day, all our travel while we're there and things like that. I have some money from fundraising that will help knock that cost down, depending on how many people want to go, $200 or $300 per person. So again, start to brainstorm as a family, think about what you can do there. Anything that we sell with Nike and things like that definitely goes towards that also. So the other alternative right now, like I've told our players, is Canada. We feel like it'd be a great experience for our players to get somewhere else culturally that's different than us, and also allow us to have the NCAA Division I rules for practice in the spring heading into next fall. So it's a cultural experience, but it's also a football experience at the same time. I'd like to thank you all for your support and continue to build up your sons and talk about the positives in our program, because we are stepping in the right direction, even though the record doesn't say so. Thanks, and have a good day.